Diagnostic codes for 62T transmissions. Diagnostic codes and description of problem. P0120 throttle position sensor signal circuit. P0122 throttle position sensor, or APS low. P0123 throttle position sensor, or APS high. P0124 throttle position sensor, or APS intermittent. P0218 high temperature operation activated. P0562 low battery voltage. P0604 internal TCM. P0605 internal TCM. P0613 internal TCM. P0700 internal TCM. P0705 check shifter signal. P0706 check shifter signal. P0711 trans temp sensor. No temp rise after start. P0712 trans temp sensor voltage to low. P0713 trans temp sensor voltage to high. P071 for transmission temperature sensor intermittent. P0715 input speed sensor error. P0720 output speed sensor error. P0725 engine speed sensor circuit. P0731 gear ratio error in first. P0732 gear ratio error in second. P0733 gear ratio error in third. P0734 gear ratio error in fourth. P0735 gear ratio error in fourth prime. P0736 gear ratio error in reverse. P0740 torque converter clutch, no RPM drop at lockup. P0743 torque converter clutch, solenoid or trans relay circuits. P0748 pressure solenoid control or trans relay circuits. P0750 LR solenoid circuit. P07510 or D switch pressed low more than 5 minutes. P0753 trans 3-4 shift solenoid or trans relay circuits. P07552 quarters or 2C solenoid circuit. P07600 D solenoid circuit. P0765 AD solenoid circuit. P0770 for C solenoid circuit. P07833-4 shift solenoid, no RPM drop at lockup. P08441 LR pressure switch sense circuit. P08452 quarters hydraulic pressure test failure. P08462 quarters pressure switch sense circuit. P0867 line pressure fault. P0868 line pressure low. P0869 line pressure high. P0870 OD hydraulic pressure test failure. P0871 OD pressure switch sense circuit. P0875 at hydraulic pressure test failure. P0876 at pressure switch sense circuit. P0884 power up at speed. P0888 relay output always off. P0890 switched battery. P0891 transmission relay always on. P0897 worn out or burnt transaxle fluid. P0932 line pressure sensor fault. P0944 loss of prime. P0951 autostick sensor circuit. P0952 autostick input circuit low. P0987 for C hydraulic pressure test failure. P0988 for C pressure switch sense circuit. P099224 for odd hydraulic pressure test failure. P1652 serial communication link malfunction. P168 for battery was disconnected. P1687 no communication with MIC. P1694 bus communication with engine module. P1714 low battery voltage. P1715 restricted port in T3 range. P1716 bus communication with engine module. P1717 no communication with MIC. P1726 at hydraulic pressure switch circuit. P1727 for C hydraulic pressure switch circuit. P1728 to C hydraulic pressure switch circuit. P1732 AD pressure switch sense circuit. P1733 for C pressure switch sense circuit. P1734 2C pressure switch sense circuit. P1735 inadequate element, volume for C. P1736 gear ratio error in second prime. P1738 high temperature logic activated. P1739 power up at speed. P1740 TCCO or D solenoid performance. P1756 governor pressure not equal to target at 15-20 psi. P1757 governor pressure above 3 psi in gear at 0 mile per hour. P1762 governor pressure sensor offset volts to low or high. P1763 governor pressure sensor volts to high. P1764 governor pressure sensor volts to low. P1765 trans 12 volt supply relay control circuit. P1767 relay output always on. P1768 relay output always off. P1770 inadequate element volume LR. P1771 inadequate element volume to C. P1772 inadequate element volume OD. P1773 inadequate element volume I. P1775 solenoid switch valve latched in TCC position. P1776 solenoid switch valve latched in LR position. P1781 OD pressure switch sense circuit. P17822-4 pressure switch sense circuit. P178 for LR pressure switch sense circuit. P1787 OD hydraulic pressure switch circuit. P17882-4 hydraulic pressure switch circuit. P17892-4 odd hydraulic pressure switch circuit. P1790 fault immediately after shift. P1791 loss of prime. P1792 battery was disconnected. P1793 third link communication error. P179 for speed sensor ground error. P1795 internal transmission controller. P1796 auto stick input circuit. P1797 manual shift overheat. P1798 worn outburnt transaxle fluid. P1799 calculated oil temp in use. P1899P or N performance. P2700 inadequate element volume LR. P2701 inadequate element volume to C. P2702 inadequate element volume OD. P2703 inadequate element volume UD. P2704 inadequate element volume for C. P2706 MS solenoid circuit.
And if you want to see more content from me, you know it's a red button and then a notification bell.